Hello summoners, welcome back to the channel, and in this video we're going to talk about the mole god, the skill Corvus, and he's kind of like a mix of Corvus Glaive and Captain Marvel movie. He doesn't hit as hard as either of them, but unlike Corvus, he's not limited by 20 charges, and unlike Captain Marvel movie, all his hits in his frenzy phase are critical, so he's a pretty good combination. Plus on top of that he has bleed. So damage output wise, like, you are not going to see big yellow numbers, but you are going to see a lot of yellow numbers, and like at the end he does a pretty crazy amount of damage. Right, so we're going to talk about the changes, but first take a look at that SP2. Again, individual hits, they are not doing that much damage, but just the fact that he is creating every single time, and you can maintain that as long as you can use heavy attack. And like a few years ago, characters who relied on heavy attack, we used to say that you need to parry, but as you can see here, even without parrying, you can, if you have the spacing down, then you can bait special and counter with a heavy, you can bait heavy and counter with a heavy. His heavy animation, I think they said that it's longer. It's not, it doesn't have a extremely long reach, but at the same time, for the most part, it is pretty decent for like punishing heavy attacks and punishing special attacks so far, from what I've seen. But again, talking about the changes now. So earlier, whenever you use heavy attack with this guy, you gained 1 monster mass, and now you gain 4. You can gain up to 20. When you reach 20, he goes frenzy, but you don't have to reach 20. Like after 8, I think, if you take a blocked hit, then you go frenzy, and you are going to do crits on every hit. You're going to bleed the opponent. Now like every crit is a bleed, and the bleed is actually weaker now. It used to be a little bit stronger, but it used to be shorter, I think. Now it's 2 seconds longer, so with deep wounds, I think it's a pretty decent length bleed. And yeah, it doesn't do like compared to the crit bleeders of the game. Again, this is a character, you won't see big yellow numbers, you won't see big debuff numbers, you won't see any red numbers, but still somehow his DPS is really high. Like in the skill class, outside of Aegon, once he's built up, and Nick Fury, I'd say he could have the highest DPS for fights like Labyrinth, and I am definitely going to do a ton of damage comparisons with him. First one is going to be between him and Kingpin, both at rank 3, and then we're going to do some more comparisons with some other characters, but I think he is going to do very well with them. And one thing that some people are talking about, but I guess some of you might not know, and it's a pretty big thing. Like on paper it doesn't really do anything, but the fact that when you block you go unstoppable and you can then counter the opponent, that is pretty huge. Like that is a newish way of getting an opening with him. It's very useful, especially in stuff like alliance wars. Like for example, here you have to either intercept or parry, and because of limbo you can't really parry that much, so you can also bait heavy. So these are a few, like every character, they have a very limited ways of getting an opening, with the exception of characters like Ghost, who can just phase. But Moleman, because he'll go unstoppable, so like it's kind of weird, but basically you block opponents hits at you, and after, like as soon as they finish the attack, you go in, and because you are unstoppable you will get your 5-hit combo. And as you can see, like this Red Hulk, he's about to go down, and we are 3 minutes something into the video, 4 minutes in actually now, and he's down. So he did really well, like 4 minutes for does this guy have 1.5 million health? Whatever it is, like I have done plenty of damage comparisons on this guy, and 4 minutes is a very good time. So now we're going to jump into some variant gameplay. We have a few fights from variant 2, or I think it's variant 2. He's also he's an XL character, he's a villain, so he's great for variant 2, he's great for variant 5, no sorry, variant 6. So, and in variant 6 there used to be, he would still work. There is for the Electro chapter, he can cheese the hell out of it, the aggression regeneration or something, and whenever you get unstoppable, like that is a chapter where people, like I think Karate Mike used a 2-star Moleman. People were also using like Kingpin, And there was another character who usually you won't use, but people were using for that, so that he would just crush that fight. And synergies wise, he doesn't really need any synergy, but two synergies definitely benefit him a lot from what I've seen, and that is the Guardian synergy and the Abomination synergy. Now, unlike and he is kind of like a scale Captain Marvel movie with his charges and how you have to, but you saw like Labyrinth fight is, it's a pretty long fight, and for 4 minutes we never once lost, and like the frenzy, and it is not stressful at all. Like a lot of characters that have stuff depending on a timer, let's say Gamora or characters like that, they are very stressful to play, but not him, because and while I was talking, he just finished 2 fights, and we are now down to Winter Soldier, because you can't really make it should be illegal to make a video and not include the Realm of Legends Winter Soldier kill, but he does really well here as well. And now, like you can see, we 2 heavy attacks in, and now 3 heavy attacks in. I think I'm going to take a blocked hit, so that is how you gain an opening. Like I didn't parry there, I didn't intercept, I didn't bait a heavy, just took a blocked hit and then went for it, and that is going to be great in a lot of scenarios, I can tell you that now. And his SP1 actually has a shock, and it's a pretty good shock actually. Like it does a pretty decent amount of damage. I used it earlier today in Alliance 4, and he's just melted the defender. But what was I talking about? I completely forget sometimes. But oh yeah, I've completely forgot about the utility also. He is supposed to shrug off debuffs. He can't shrug off when he is in the frenzy mode. I think that is something which kind of balances him, I guess. It's fine, I don't really mind it, but he can shrug off this Q-side mastery, which is something that he is not doing every time right now. Like I took him in Labyrinth and he was not doing it, but then I took him in Realm of Legend and he was doing it. So I guess it's kind of bugged, and every update of course there are a lot of bugs, but hopefully that gets resolved soon. But he is a character who is capable of shrugging off debuffs, and then he also has like True Strike when he has less than 10 charges, which is also not working I think, but is a very useful ability for sure. But that is going to do it for this one. Thanks for watching guys, have a nice day, subscribe to the channel for more content, like this video, share with your alliance, and stay safe. Bye bye, have a good one.